I am still scared to change the narrative of who I am as a person. The numbers are not the meat of weight loss. He told me at that point that I was too fat. It's a long story. It's a juicy one. Really, the way that I overcame most of the challenges this past week was planning ahead. I thought I had the perfect solution. Obviously, it goes a lot deeper than that. And we're gonna talk about habits, because that is the theme of week 3 of BodySlims, is habits. Hey friends, this is gonna be a little bit of a different video because I'm obviously outdoors walking, so I apologize if there's any noises or anything that's not great, but this is the best I can do today. So I'm here to give my weight loss update. If you follow me, I already posted on community tab that I lost 2 pounds on week 3 of BodySlims. So that was amazing. That was fantastic. So happy. Really proud of myself. But I feel like that's not really the meat of what happened, right? Like, the numbers are not the meat of weight loss. The numbers are just sort of the quantifier, the way that we track what we're doing. But obviously, it goes a lot deeper than that. So let's talk about some challenges that I had this week. Let's talk about self-sabotage. Let's talk about success. Let's talk about all these things because there's just a lot that went on. So this past week, yes, I lost 2 whole pounds, which is incredible. If I had to pick an amount of weight that I wanted to lose every single week while I'm, getting to my goal, it would be 2 pounds a week, because that is doable. I feel like it is sustainable, and that is probably about as well as I can do. Like, it feels significant. It's more than 1, but I can still do it while eating like 1,400 to 1,500 calories a day, right? I think if I were to try and lose more than 2 pounds a week, I would have to restrict my calories even further, which I'm not willing to do. I'm already struggling to stay within the calorie limit that BodySlims gave me. BodySlims said I should have 1,300 calories a day. And I don't think I've stayed under 1,300 calories on any day of the program so far. So that's that. So 2 pounds feels significant, feels like a big accomplishment. Really happy with it. And I think I'm even more proud of it because of the challenges that came up. So we'll talk about the challenges. I'll talk about how I overcame those challenges to still succeed, which is amazing. And then I'm also going to talk about a little bit about the seminar information from this week, week 3 of BodySlims, and then also how I sabotaged myself after my weigh-in yesterday. I'm recording this on Thursday, and on BodySlims, the weigh-in day is Wednesday. So that's what we're talking about this video. If you want to hang in there, awesome. If not, totally get it. But yeah, let's get into it. So challenges this past week. It was my husband Ed, it was his birthday. For our family, I don't know what every family does, but for our family, we eat cake on birthdays, and we also typically go out for a celebratory meal, both of which are make eating within a calorie deficit a little bit of a challenge. So for the challenge of eating out, we went to my favorite restaurant, which is called First Watch. It's like a brunch, breakfasty place. So we went there. I looked up the calories online. Their online menu with the calorie information is so cool because you can actually play around. Sorry about the wind, but you can actually play around with the ingredients and remove them or add them on their website, and it will give you the new calorie information based on what you have added or subtracted. So that was really cool, super helpful. It turns out the item that I typically order from First Watch, my very favorite thing to order from First Watch is called the elevated breakfast sandwich. That meal is well over 1,000 calories all by itself. So I didn't order that. I decided to order the item that had the least amount of calories that I could find, which was, I think they call it like their power wrap or something. So it had, sorry, I don't know why I'm trying to take a power walk. I'm gonna slow down. I don't know why I'm trying to take a power walk while I'm talking to you. So I will slow down a little bit so I can breathe. I'm sacrificing for you. So anyway, so I ordered their power wrap. It was actually delicious. And I think that ended up being, record my walk. Yes, I will. Thank you, Apple Watch. And I'm going to explain why I'm walking right now and not at 5 a.m. That's going to be another challenge that I'm going to share with you. So stay tuned. So the power wrap was about, I believe, like including the fruit that came on the side, I think it was like 500 calories. So that was great because I only eat like 2 meals a day because I do intermittent fasting. So that was actually perfect. So that was fine. That was a win. I also didn't have the juice that I normally have because First Watch has amazing like fresh juice cocktails, like not alcoholic, but I mean they do have alcoholic, but they have these great amazing fresh squeezed juices that are great, which I normally order. So I think normally on an average day that I would go to First Watch with my family in the past, like at least 15 or 1600 calories in one meal, okay? But on this day, on my husband's birthday, because I'm trying to lose weight, I think I only had like 500, maybe 550 calories. So that was a huge win. The other challenge, of course, was the birthday cake. So I knew I was gonna have the birthday cake. I knew I was gonna go out to this restaurant. So really the way that I overcame most of the challenges this past week was planning ahead, being smart, looking ahead, and budgeting all of these things into my calorie allowance. Could have told myself like, no, just don't have the birthday cake at all. But I think that would have been a bridge too far. I think that would have been unrealistic. It's better to just plan for it within the calories of the day rather than pretend like I wasn't gonna have any and eat all my calories and then at the end of the day eat the cake anyway and be way over the calories. So I'm happy that I did that. That was great. The other challenge, and why I am here with you at 10 o'clock in the morning walking instead of my typical 5 a.m. walk, is that on my husband's birthday, he decided that he had had enough of me waking up at 5 a.m. and ninja rolling out of bed and having our daughter wake up because we all share a bed. I've been getting up early every single day since July. There have been a lot of days where when I roll out of bed, Amelia wakes up and she fusses around and she kicks and she stretches and she does her thing. And then obviously that wakes up Ed, and she also like will literally lay on his head and like snuggle his head with her whole body. And while that is adorable, since he goes to bed late, it is not adorable at 5:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, yeah, it was not appreciated, especially, like, I guess everything kind of came to a head that day, and he had enough. So, and particularly because he went to bed at like 1 o'clock in the morning that night because he had to fix something, like our water pump or something in the basement. So he was really grumpy when he woke up. And he asked me to please not take my walk at 5 a.m. anymore. So I initially was very upset by this, like extremely upset. I was actually infuriated and panicking because in my head it was like a huge injustice, right? Like here I was trying to get healthy, trying to do something for myself, trying to figure out the way that would be least impactful to my family, which I thought was 5 a.m. whenever it was sleeping, but apparently not. And so I was just really upset. I was really upset. I was like, how is this fair? How am I supposed to fit this walk in? I thought I had the perfect solution. I thought walking at 5 a.m. was great. It was really great for me because I just rolled out of bed, put on my walking clothes, and left. And then I would come back and take my shower, get ready for the day, and my walk would be complete. I wouldn't have to think about it. I wouldn't have to keep it on my to-do list, keep it as part of my, mental noise, mental load, right? It was just done. And so now, he wasn't, in his mind, he was just like, we'll just do it at a different time. And for me, like, yes, I do have a flexible schedule, right? Like, obviously, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. I dropped my daughter off at daycare, and now I'm taking a walk before my client, right? Perfect. And every day, quite honestly, every day is different for me. Every day is a different schedule. I don't have a regular 9 to 5 where I know exactly what every day is going to look like. So in a way, it's easier because I have more flexibility. But if you think about, so I'm a counselor. I have a psychology degree. I have a master's degree in counseling. So I'm trying to look at this from like a psychological perspective. So it's not just put the walk in a different time slot. Like, it's not that simple. It's like now, instead of the walk being this automatic habit that I don't have to think about, now it is taking up this extra real estate in my head and extra effort in terms of planning and thinking. And I feel like that's where it's a burden. Not like doing the walk later. Like, that's fine. But now it's on top of all these other things that I have in my head, on top of all this other planning that I have to do. Now the walk is added back into that mix. Like a will I, won't I, should I, shouldn't I, when's it gonna be? But this is kind of one of those challenges that I just have to decide, what do I want to do? Am I gonna throw a tantrum and just not take the walk? Or am I gonna get creative and decide how I can do it anyway? And I guess that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm just like, okay, well, if it doesn't work for the whole family for me to take my walk at 5 a.m., then I figure out a different way, figure out a different strategy. And there's been a lot of, I've been watching a lot of other YouTube videos and having conversations with people, like clients and stuff, around this concept that like when one person in a family system or one person in a friend group or in like whatever community you're in, when one person, especially if it's a dysfunctional system, when one person decides to get healthy, it really upsets the apple cart. It disrupts the dysfunction, and it is a threat. And it's so crazy, right? Like, you would think the people who love you the most would be the people who would support you like the most enthusiastically, right? But no, because it's threatening to them. It's shining a mirror right back in their face of what they're not doing, what they're choosing not to do, because it's hard. Doing the work to claw your way out of your pit, whatever that pit is. For me, it's being overweight. And I mean, there are lots of pits that I'm in, but this current one that we're talking about is being overweight. My ideal body weight for my frame, for my height, whatever, is probably about 135 pounds. But I have been sitting at 165 to 100 and I don't know, 90 for 10 years. I looked back at my Apple Health app and I looked back at my MyFitnessPal app, and I had data that went back as far as August of 2014. That was the last data point that I had access to. And in August 2014, I'll show you, but my weight was something like 168, 167 pounds, okay? So for 10 years, I've been overweight. And I was overweight before that, because when I turned, it's a long story. It's a juicy one, I should tell at some point. But when I was 30, like on my 30th birthday, I left a boyfriend that I had been living with for like 5.5, 6 years. And he told me at that point that I was too fat. And at that point, I was like 145 pounds, okay? So as soon as I left him, my rebellion was to eat as much as I wanted, because I didn't allow myself to do that when I was living with him, because I knew he already thought I was fat at 145 pounds. And so in like the year after I left him, I think I gained 20 or 30 pounds. And then I've lived with that plus more ever since. So basically, my body today is kind of, my pit of despair is still a reaction and an FU to that boyfriend who I haven't talked to since 2013. So that's a lot of trauma, drama, story, whatever, that I'm finally choosing to let go of and claw my way out of for myself. Not for my husband, not for anybody else, just for me. For me to get back to how I want to look, to how I want to feel. So me deciding to just continue to do my walks however I need to do them is me fighting for myself and what I want. So now let's talk a little bit about BodySlims, the message from week 3, habits, and then I'll talk about really quick at the end how I sabotaged myself yesterday, and then we'll be done. Okay, because I know this video is getting a little long. BodySlims week 3, the message is about habits. The message is about how what we do each and every day consistently is what's important, not like some spectacular act that we do once or some dramatic big thing or show. That's not what gets us to our goals. So you know, and also like one spectacular mess up or failure isn't what determines our success long term, right? It's like, what are the small actions, intentional or unintentional, that we're doing every day? What are those? Because whatever those are, those actions are what make our lives, our bodies, our success, our failure, our lifestyle, right? And so the point of the seminar was, you know, if we have been doing this day by day by day, unconsciously and poorly, not exercising, eating whatever we want, you know, telling ourselves these awful stories about how I could never and I wouldn't and I'm not that kind of person, then that's what's gotten us here, right? For me, my story used to be, if I lived at the beach where my parents live, I would walk every day too. I literally used to say that to myself all the time, because my parents live literally at the ocean in California, and they take these spectacularly beautiful walks every day, okay? And I live in Illinois, and today's a nice day, it's fine, but in about a month or two, it's gonna be freezing, and I'm gonna have to wear like 6 coats and 12 hats and 4 pairs of gloves just to get out the door. So my story and my habit was that I was sedentary and I ate whatever I wanted because I'm old and I'm married and I have kids and it doesn't matter anymore. And this is just what I'm looking like for the rest of my life. And I live in Illinois, so I can't take walks. So that's what got me to where I was at, to like 190 something pounds last year. So now, if that's true, then the opposite must also be true, which is if I limit my calories every day for a long time, not a long time, for a few months, right? Until I reach my goal. So if I can limit my calorie intake for several months, if I can take my daily walk every day for an hour, if I can shift the stories in my head and work on that and work on gratitude every day, then the result will be positive. The result will be that I am thin and healthy and fit, and that I am an active person. I'm no longer a sedentary person. And my story is, I can take walks wherever I live. And if I can't take a walk because the entire, neighborhood that I live in is full of ice and snow, then I guess I can walk indoors, right? Like, that is the story. And would it be lovely if I lived in Manhattan Beach in Southern California and could walk by the ocean every day? Yes, that would be incredible. But here we are. And that is not an excuse for me to not take my health into my own hands, right? So, small actions every single day that add up to the result and the life that I want. Trying to think what my other point was that I wanted to remember. Oh, the phrase, I mean, this is a publicly available phrase, I can share it. It just happens that Jer from BodySlims says it in the seminar. But there's a quote from Aristotle that says, all right, the sentence is, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. And I just thought that was so stunningly wonderful, because it is true. I don't have to be this excellent, amazing, outstanding person in order to succeed. I can just be me, but consistent. I can make choices. It's all in my hands. It's not about what anybody else says or does. It's not about my surroundings, where I live. I mean, the honest truth is, if I lived in prison and I had a cell that was 6 foot by 6 foot, I could still take a walk for an hour every day because I could step in place. That's the truth. And that mindset is what is so threatening to other people who aren't willing or able yet to see it like that. Just like I, for many years, was not able or willing to look at it like that. So, the last thing I'm going to share is how I sabotaged myself after my success yesterday. So yesterday was Wednesday, weigh-in Wednesday. I saw that I was down 2 full pounds. Incredible. Perfect. All I could ask for. I fought hard. I made it happen. I was disciplined. It was incredible. So what did I do? I got snackish. I got a little peckish, a little hungry, a little snacky. And then, like an idiot, I thought, you know what I should do for Amelia? I should bake her some muffins. What? Like, why? Why would I bake her muffins? She didn't ask for muffins. She wasn't even awake. She was taking a nap. So she couldn't even help make the muffins, which really is the only benefit to her of making muffins, is that she can help me, and it's an activity and it takes up time. So why I thought I should make her muffins, I don't know, but I did. And then of course they smelled amazing, and of course I decided to eat one, and of course eating carbs leads me to want more carbs, and I ended up having, I think, 2 or 3 muffins in total, plus a handful of tortilla chips, plus a bowl of cereal, and I feel like there was something else. Oh, some fruit snacks or something. So basically I went on a carby sugar binge, which brought me up from the 1,400 calories I had intended to eat for the day. It brought me up to, I don't know, like 2,000 something, like a little over 2,000 calories, which, again, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a sin. It's not the worst thing that could have happened in the world. I could have done much worse damage, for sure. But I think even my own subconscious, my own subconscious mind is threatened by the idea of me being thin and healthy again. I think I am still rebelling against that boyfriend. Obviously not on purpose, but I think that's true. I think who wanted me to be skinny, right? I'm still rebelling against the ballet culture that I grew up in, of having to be thin. I'm still rebelling against the culture of Los Angeles that I grew up in, where everyone has to be thin and beautiful and perfect. And I think I am still scared to change the narrative of who I am as a person. Because up until now, my story has been that I am not disciplined. I'm not consistent. And I just want to be comfortable. I can't do hard things. I just don't. And I feel like that has saved me from a lot of accountability over the years, at least in my mind. And I think that if I fully surrender to this process and allow myself to be 100% at this, to be disciplined every day, and to get down to my Dare to Dream goal weight, that I'm going to have to change who I am and how I understand who I am as a person, as a mom, as a wife, as a counselor, as a everything. Because if I can do this, then I need to be accountable in other areas of my life, right? And that is something I want, obviously. That's something I've been striving for. If you watch my other videos on this channel about decluttering my house, like, yeah, this is the whole point. This is the goal, is to become a disciplined person. But deep down, that is scary because I don't know that person. I don't know that person yet. So here we are. This is the challenge. This is the challenge moving forward, is to stay consistent, to stop sabotaging myself, and to keep rolling with the punches and the challenges, and to just keep going and doing the best that I can every day. So if you watched this far, thank you. I hope this was helpful. Hope it was impactful. And I can't wait to hear more from you about how this applies to you in your life. So thank you so much for watching. Please check out my new Facebook growth group. It's called Millennial Meg Growth Group. I'll have it linked in the description. It's an opportunity for us to connect every single day. I am posting in there every single morning or afternoon, depending on when I have time, but I am posting in there every single day. Just what I'm working on, what I need accountability for, and I want it to be a positive and encouraging place for everyone to lift each other up and encourage each other and hold each other accountable for whatever goal you're working on, which could be weight loss, could be cleaning your house, it could be being a better mom, whatever you want. Join that. And then as always, you can join my email list. That is also just encouraging messages, but that is once a week. So thank you so much for watching. I love you. And I can't wait to see what's next. Bye.
See